sellers. All right, so here we see the 5-minute time frame, right? And you just want to look at this candle. You want to look at one thing, right? We can see very, very obviously what was going on over here. To give people some context, right? This candle you see over here is exactly the same as these 1-minute candles over here. This is the 1-minute time frame coming up like this. And now when we look at the order flow is basically confirming this on the 5-minute candle. So what's important to understand is we see this very, very clear rejection, right? We see a rejection, but what's even more interesting is on the 5-minute time frame, what we can see, I want traders to understand what we can see is we see this, right? We see 4K for 843. This means that there's so many more aggressive sellers than there are buyers. So think about this. If the market wants to move down, we're going to see aggressive sellers. But we've come straight into a key level. We've come straight into a fair value gap. These are so many sellers over here, resting aggressive sellers. This is at the price point 59.40. So you know at 59.40, there's a ton of market participants hitting the bid. But these bidders, right, these aggressive sellers have not been rewarded. If they were rewarded, we would have broken through this level, right? We also have another green candle over here. What's so interesting is that we have a rejection of this green candle, but the bottom half corresponded to aggressive sellers. In fact, if we look at this, we have 2K for 595. So this means that there's approximately 4 times as many aggressive sellers than there are buyers. So by reading the delta and by reading basic volume and bid and ask, we can take this from 15-minute fair value gaps and apply it to a regular candle. Exactly what I do in all of my trades, and that's exactly what this case study is planning to show. So if we go back here to the candlestick chart basically shows us the candles, the representation, but it doesn't show us the order flow. So we can take this trade over here below the 10 a.m. Eastern, and we can have a stop loss just below the low over here. So what we're doing essentially is we're seeing a lot of aggressive sellers over here. Therefore, we are anticipating the sellout, the exhaustion of these sellers, which is what creates the low of the candle in the first place. Right, so now from here, where do we target? Right, now that order flow has confirmed this level, well, we're simply looking to target, we're looking to target the first kind of 1-minute fair value gap, because the S&P 500 reacts pretty aggressively to these fair value gaps. So if we continue to play price on, what we can see is price eventually does give us a nice 1 to 2 or even nice 1 to 3 RR. But I'm just going to go over something because I want traders to understand exactly what is going on between the buyers and the sellers. This zone is very, very important. And the reason for that, the reason why this zone is so important is because we're actually reading the order flow. And I want traders to understand, what does this mean when we're inside a 15-minute fair value gap? Because if I break this down, I want traders to understand this, right? We are going to understand exactly what this means, right? So we are going to look at this and we are going to understand exactly what this means, right? So when you see 4K, right, you're seeing 4K 843. This corresponds to this price action. We are seeing so many more aggressive sellers, right? But these aggressive sellers were unable to break this level. This is the level the sellers couldn't break, right? What's even more interesting is that we have a second rejection. So this is the rejection you see over here, just below the 10 a.m. Eastern. So what we're seeing over here is we're seeing 2K for 595. So we see so many more aggressive sellers than buyers, despite that the market was able to reject off this level and then move to the upside. And this is exactly what we look for over here in all of our trades, right? So whenever you're trading and you're unstuck on what indicator to use or what fair value gaps to use, always remember your trading will probably be blinded unless you're reading the interaction between buyers and sellers, right? So that's a quick trade recap I wanted to give people. If you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next one.